In this episode, we're going to show you how a boat builder can use BARD to identify accidents involving their boats. First, we encourage boat builders to watch our previous 4 episodes before watching this one. They are: number 1, what is BARD tutorial, 2, BARD tour, 3, BARD combined table, 4, BARD basic query tutorial. This subject is covered in 2 episodes. In part 1, we're going to show you the very basic way to find most of your accidents in a single year of the public BARD database. Part 2 will demonstrate several techniques used to find the rest of them. We are going to use Malibu Boats, the ski boat and towboat manufacturer, as our example. Malibu and the 2018 public BARD database are particularly well suited for use as an example, as will be seen in part 2. Malibu has an MIC code, or Manufacturer's Identification Code, of MB2, which is the prefix to the hull identification numbers marked on every vessel they build. Malibu was selected for our example purely for the phonetics of their company name and of their MIC code, and for the variance of those alphanumeric groupings that happen to be recorded in 2018 public BARD accidents involving Malibu vessels. We have already opened Microsoft Access and launched 2018 BARD. Move to the query page if you're not already on it. Copy our combined query table and rename the copy as Malibu Accidents Query. The phonetics of Malibu's name and MIC code in conjunction with the particular accidents reported in 2018 public BARD provide an excellent opportunity to illustrate many of the kinds of things boat builders are going to encounter when searching for their own accidents. We open our Malibu Accidents query, click on the View drop-down, select the Design View, Query Tool. Then we scroll way over to the right to the Boat Manufacturer column and type in equals quotation mark Malibu quotation mark in the criteria row. Next, we go up to the top left and click the exclamation mark Run icon to run the query. As seen in the lower left corner, our query found 32 Malibu accidents. We can go over to the Boat Manufacturer column and see that Malibu is listed in every record selected. Sometimes queries will pick up some records you do not want. Look closely at the results of your query to make sure it has not selected some records that somehow met your query's criteria but do not meet your actual criteria. For example, a close look at our query's results identifies 2 paddle boats among the accidents selected. One is listed as a Malibu Stealth 12-footer. You can see the first entries of its alphabetic hull ID number are different than the first 3 entries of the Malibu boats above it. We will talk more on hull ID numbers in part 2. If you pull far to the left to the redacted narrative, you can see it was some sort of paddlecraft, not a ski or towboat. We record its BARD ID number as WI-2018-0105. If we go back to the boat manufacturer, boat model, and HIN columns and continue reviewing accidents from the bottom of the list upward, we see a Malibu T22 with a hull ID number that begins with AWR. This is an Axis Wake research boat, a more economical product line manufactured by Malibu. If you wish to find more of them, one could search for Axis in the boat manufacturer column. Giving the query one more look, we find a Malibu kayak without a hull ID number listed. If we pull to the right, we see it has no engines and 0 horsepower. Pulling back to the far left of the BARD ID number, it is NV-2018-0006. If we go back to the boat manufacturer column, the second entry from the top is for AL2018-0054 BARD ID number. It says it is a Malibu and its model name is Mastercraft. However, it lists the correct hull ID number prefix, so we left it. You can export the data as a spreadsheet if you want. We usually build our own spreadsheet by typing the columns of most interest into a spreadsheet we create. One reason we create our own spreadsheet is we're going to be entering similar data from several years. The Coast Guard occasionally changes the data collected from year to year, and or the name of each column, and or the phrases or entries in those columns. Plus, we may not have captured exactly the same variables in our annual combined table tool each year. So we just create our own spreadsheet with the BARD ID, a summary of the redacted narrative, and columns of most interest to us. We can always come back to this query or to the accident and vessel tables themselves using the BARD ID numbers identified in this query. However, we do understand many will wish to export their query to Excel. To export your query as a spreadsheet, all you have to do is scroll up to the top menu, select External Data, then click on the Excel option. The system will show you where it plans to store your Excel files and what its name will be. You can change those file options if you want. Otherwise, just press Enter. The system will ask you if you want to save these export steps or not. I just closed that window. Close Microsoft Access, navigate to the Excel spreadsheet, and open it. Browse around the spreadsheet a minute just to make sure it looks like it's all there. Make sure it looks like your query. It looks like it's all here. Now we're going to remove the 3 accidents from the query that do not belong there: the Axis boat and the 2 paddle craft. We pull to the right and identify the T-22 Axis boat. We use a scroll bar on the right side to make it the top entry in view. Then scroll all the way to the left. We mouse over the line number to the left of the BARD ID number, right-click, and select Delete. That deletes this record. Then we scroll back to the right to the boat manufacturer column. We see the kayak. We use the right scroll bar to make it the top entry in view. Then we scroll all the way back to the left. Mouse over the line number to the left of the BARD ID, right-click, and select Delete. That deletes this record. Then we scroll back to the right to the boat manufacturer column, scroll down, and see the Malibu Stealth 12-foot entry with a different prefix to its hull ID number. We pull back to the left and mounts over the line number to the left of the BARD ID number, right-click and select Delete. That deletes this record. That sets us up with our correct number of 29 accidents in the, because we have 30 rows, plus the first row is taken up by the headings, 30 minus 1 equals 29. On the way out of Excel, I clicked File, closed it, and clicked Save. The Excel file will be saved where you told it to be saved at about 7 minutes and 15 seconds into this video. That's it for Part 1. Be sure to view Part 2 for information on how to find the accidents Part 1 missed. Post any questions or comments below. Thanks for watching. Bye.